Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I will start this video with the Prohibition era in the United States of America, which lasted from 1920 to 1933, and it was a nationwide constitutional ban on distribution, manufacture and so on of alcohol. And it was meant to heal the society, the ills of the society. And that was imposed on alcohol. If we remember correctly, alcohol started with its own production done by individuals. So if I want to grow my grapes, I grow my grapes, I make wine and so on. And if I want to make beer, I do that with, whatever I need to do. If I want to do it from any other fruits, I can do that, and I grow my own, I distill my own alcohol. And then if I make more than enough, I can give to others and I can sell it and so on. That's how it started, from personal use to distribution. So it was not something meant that the government has to do anything with it, but nevertheless they regulated somehow, the transport like a good, which is fine. But then the government thought that under the pressure of some religious groups, they started getting involved and saying, no, you can't use that, you can't use that, you can't use that, because that's going to be bad for you and for society somehow, because you destroy families and so on. All right, well, there were some groups that agreed, some groups that didn't agree. One thing that Prohibition era created was the class of the gangsters, of the illegal manufacture, distribution and use of alcohol. So they created, actually, this prohibition created a class and an underground social life that was illegal, but they created criminality and prostitution. Not that it's something wrong with prostitution, but because it's as long as you're coerced into doing it by, like the pimp and all. I disagree with that, obviously, but nevertheless, they created criminality, that's for sure, gangsters and so on. This law, this prohibition, and now we go to this article that creates the same thing. The sanctions create illegality and criminality, if you want to call it that way. So this article comes from Business Insider from July 22nd, 2022. And this is the title: Russian oil is traveling to Asia on tankers that used to carry sanctioned Iranian crude as dark trading expands. So they imposed sanctions on Russia. Russia will do illegalities with other entities that will do illegalities. Illegal tankers carrying illegal sanctioned oil, sanctioned by a few entities, but that actually don't have power over Russia. But nevertheless, they decided that they place these sanctions because why? They think so that that's the way they should do. And you guys, you have to follow and you have to obey, because if you don't obey, we're going to slap some sanctions and some military action on you too, or a little, orange revolution if you want, or a lemon revolution. And then obviously the tankers are turning off their transponders, transmitters. Poof, done. Illegality. So tankers which once carried sanctioned Iranian oil are now taking Russian crude to Asia, analyst company Vortexa said. All right, so Vortexa Analytics, not analysts, analytics company. So Vortexa also said a number of ship-to-ship transfers of Russian oil involving vessels with the signals turned off is growing. So the Russians take the oil outside, there's another vessel waiting, boom, transfer the oil, this goes to the destination, and bye-bye sanctions. And that's one way out of many. But nevertheless, and they turn off their, as I said, the communication signals. Russia, Iran and Venezuela are increasingly competing to sell oil to India and China while avoiding the ire of the US. Why? Why would the US be the one that these guys have to avoid? Who appointed the US as being the arbiter, the referee of all this? Anybody voted for that? Oh, it's not about voting. It's about... I got it. Yeah, that's the way it is. So, tankers that used to carry Iranian oil are now loading up on Russian cruise to take it to Asia as fear of Western backlash, sanctions and blackmail and military action forces trading in the region to go dark, according to energy analytics company Vortexa. Since April, there have been at least 11 tankers that have loaded Russian oil and which previously carried Iranian crude, Vortexa said in a note on Friday. Vortexa analyst Armen Azizian, who wrote the note, told Insider that the cargoes have all been bound for Asia. Vortexa said the number of Atlantic Ocean ship-to-ship transfers of Russian oil involving vessels which have turned off their tracking signals, a practice known as going dark, is growing. Criminality, right? Adjust. As more companies scale back from carrying Russian crude products, those familiar with the sanctioned crude trade will continue using their tankers to assist Russia in exporting oil east of Suez, making a lot of money, right? He said Russia, Iran and Venezuela, all countries suffering under the weight of the US sanctions, are increasingly competing to sell their oil to India and China. They will create their own separate organizations and control and all that. I guarantee you that. I foresee that 99%. If things continue like this in Russia and the war continues. After Russia invaded Ukraine, oh, is this the last thing? No. After Russia invaded Ukraine in late February, Western nations rushed to impose sanctions on Moscow. Why? Because that's where they wanted it to be. The US and the UK banned the import of Russian oil. Are they involved in the war? Okay. Weren't they the ones that prevented Ukraine from really dealing with Donbass, Lugansk, those regions under the Minsk agreements? Although not directly affected by the sanctions, many major energy traders and companies are self-sanctioning and steering clear products from the country. Yeah. However, India and China have stepped up their purchases of Russian oil, which is trading at a steep discount. The sales have been facilitated by companies that are willing to risk the ire of the US and its allies, some of which are employing methods such as ship-to-ship transfers and going dark to decrease the risk of detection. That is what? Criminality. No problem. And meanwhile, the rising inflows of sanctions or quasi-sanctioned Russian oil into Asian markets cause difficulties to some Middle Eastern suppliers to place all their medium to heavy sour barrels, with Iraq reducing official selling prices relative to competitor as a consequence. Now, it's a competition. The price for oil went up. Russia makes more profits now than before, sells, I think, the same amount of oil, has these methods. I wonder if the Russians will go with their tankers. But let's say the tankers are, how do you call it, joined by a military ship, one, just to be there. What would happen? Would they be stopped by another military, let's say Great Britain? What are they going to do? Are they going to shoot at one another? That would be a good pretext to drop a few bombs here and there, right? Or the Americans will stop them? We're going to shoot at one another? What's going to happen? Will this happen? I wonder why. I mean, it's going to be a challenge straight face to face. There's no way around it. We're not going to stop. You're going to ram us? You're going to shoot at us? We shoot at you. You shoot at our military, our people? Then that's a war right there. I don't recognize your authority. This is what's going to happen. Russia will have to say that I do not recognize your authority to sanction my things. Neither even to stop my things and check them out. leave alone seize them or anything like that. And they're gonna get to this. They will get to this. So nevertheless, criminality increased due to the sanctions. Prohibition time. Gangsters. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.